third win of the 2019 season, now your third win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Talk a little bit about that win tonight and taking home your second Coco-Cola600.
Well, it was definitely a tough race. You know, it was a heck of a battle. You know, I thought early on in the race we were really strong, obviously, and felt like running away with that first stage. And you know, 75 laps in or something like that, we were kind of checking out, and then just blew a right front tire out of nowhere and hit the fence. And thought, oh man, this, you know, felt like our race was going to be over at that point. You know, I hit the wall pretty good and had a lot of damage and had tire rubs and all that, and just you know, never gave up on it, kept working and kept fighting. And you know, by like lap 250 or so, we got it dialed back into where it was pretty good, and pretty amazing, really. I mean, you know, to see the car after the race, it looks like we raced the damn thing in Martinsville. So I don't know. I'm just kind of amazed. I'm kind of speechless. But you know, thanks to my team, they did a great job. We just never gave up on it, and we kept working and kept tweaking. And you know, the last you know, 100, 150 laps it was really good. So just thankful for all of them for the hard work. And we got an awesome race team. And you know, now that we got some momentum here and a little confidence on a mile and a half, that's a you know, really good sign for us moving forward. So just overall a really good week for us, and you know, I felt good going into the race, and it's nice to, you know, kind of back that up. So feels good, and pretty awesome weekend to win.
All right, we'll take questions now for Martin. Please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation, and we'll start here to our left.
Steve Reed from the Associated Press. Martin, take us through the pass. What were you thinking before, you know, as you're coming to the line? Did you execute it the way you wanted to? Just take us through what happened there.
What pass?
The one at the end. The restart.
The final restart.
The 4 wide, yeah.
Yeah. So you know, the final restart, first of all, I hated to see the caution because we were strolling away with it, but it's always, you just never know in these things. And you know, the 6 had 2 tires, the 38 had none, and you know, we were sitting third on 4. And you know, I basically knew that whoever got out front first with 4 tires was probably going to win. You know, with a 4-lap shootout. You know, it's just you know, you don't have enough time to get around somebody really, unless, you know, if it gets single file at all. So the leader had a big advantage tonight, I felt like, and anytime we could get out front, we could just drive away from them. So at that point, it was like, all right, just try to get your lean going. Newman's a good friend of mine, and he started in front of me, and I just tried to shove him as good as I could to try to get our line going. And you know, with this package, you got to get the momentum going with your line. You can't just pull out and make it 3 wide or make a big move like that, because if the outside lane stays tight in line, they're going to just drive away from you. So I just tried to get our line going, just like, you know, we were pretty even going into 1, the inside, the outside lane. You know, I was just pushing Ryan, trying to get him going. And then we came off of 2, and somehow they got 3 wide on that front row. And at that point, those 3 guys just kind of stalled out, and I had just enough momentum. I just yanked it left and said, "Here's my chance." You know, there was a hole to go there, and had just enough of a run to clear a few of them getting into 3, and then off of 4, I was just able to sneak up in front of the 22. So, I mean, by like a 1/4 of an inch. Literally, as soon as I got almost straight, he was on my bumper and I was sideways. So, barely fit there, but you know, it just worked out. We had an amazing car, but we could do that same restart 4 more times and lose all 4 of them. I mean, it's all momentum. It's all just you know, the lane you're in, the way you time it. It just worked out. So you just never know, and I'm just thankful that we were able to get it done tonight, because we had a great race car. We had the best car at the end, so you hate to lose them in that situation.
All right, we're going to come up front to Jerry and then back to Jordan.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. Obviously, early in the race, the damage and stuff. So you bringing home victory lane, is it a driver? Is it crew chief? Is it the perfect combination? What was going through your head there as you were getting faster in the race with a damaged car?
You know, I mean, I didn't know how bad it was. You know, all I knew was how hard I hit the fence, and I was like, normally you hit it like that, it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day. You know what I'm saying? So, You know, I didn't know. I just kept telling Cole what I needed, you know, what the car was doing, and he just kept swinging at it. And, you know, the first couple stops after the damage, we were pretty bad. You know, we stayed out at one point to try to get a little track position back, and we were just plowing tight. And we fell back, I think, to 16th or 17th or something on that one run where we stayed out on older tires, and guys had tires, and it was like, you got to take a bigger swing at it, you know. At that point, I didn't know that we could ever get it going. You know, I was just telling them what it was doing. I'm like, it's still just plowing tight. You just keep trying. And we got to a point around, I want to say it was around lap 200, where we actually got on the other side of it and got too loose. And I was like, okay, maybe we do have a chance. We were pretty quick that run. And, you know, just tuned on it from there. So I don't know. You know, honestly, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's this package, but I mean, I know that we tweak and go to the wind tunnel, and we do these tiny little changes in practice for, you know, to give away, you know, for the drag downforce deal. It's like, do you want more downforce? Do you want less drag? And I mean, they just tweak little tiny things that you can't even see. And that thing, like I said, looked like we raced it at Martinsville. I mean, it was bashed. The whole right side was flat. It was all beat up. So I don't know. Maybe I'll hit the wall again. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But just pretty amazed, really.
All right, we'll go to Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Martin, how do you feel after 600 miles? Does it feel like you exerted yourself quite a bit? Does it feel different than 500 miles, or is it just kind of normal?
No, I feel good. I mean, my workout program really works. And what are you laughing at? I feel awesome. I have a little bit of a headache, and I had to go to the bathroom, obviously. That's where I went. I haven't peed since 5 o'clock. So, yeah, you're welcome. That's the number one question we get asked by the fans. What do you do if you have to go to the bathroom in the car? So, I mean, I'm just letting NASCAR know, all the NASCAR fans out there know that I held it until, is this watch on time? Is it 10 minutes to 1? So my trophy watch is even set. But, yeah, I held it for 6 hours and 50 minutes. See if anybody else here can do that after drinking like 4 gallons of water.
That is impressive.
That's how I feel. Awesome.
All right, we're going to go to the press box. Go ahead.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. Martin, when Cole was in earlier, he talked about how you guys as a team and you as a driver have had to make adjustments to find your competitive way with this rules package. I just wondered, for you as the driver, has it been a difficult process to get accustomed to finding what you need to be competitive on the track? And are you having to do things that you've been unaccustomed to do before?
Yeah, to answer your question, I mean, I think that's kind of, I had a media session this week, and that's kind of what I talked about, was that, you know, it's definitely been difficult for me, and I think for us as a team, it's so different than what we've been doing for the last couple of years. And, you know, with the success we've had, you know, it's hard to change. It's hard to say, hey, we can't keep doing that stuff we were doing before. And so we had to look at it. We had to look at it all differently. And I think, you know, our guys are, Cole and James and them and our engineers, everybody's really, really smart. And I just kind of buy into whatever they think, whatever direction they think we need to go. I just continue to give them input and you know, my opinion on things. And we just do, I feel like, a good job of communicating and working together. And, you know, I can take criticism from them and vice versa without getting upset or getting our feelings hurt. You know, we just kind of, we go in there and lay it out. We lay it all on the table. And, you know, for me, I know when I did a good job because they tell me, and, you know, I know that they are smart enough to know if I did a good job or not. So it means a lot when they say it, like tonight. But yeah, to answer your question, I mean, it's definitely been tough. It's been a lot different, and I've had to change a lot of things in the way I drive the car and the way the car feels and all those type of things. So we just had to be, you know, open and honest and continue to work on it. It's been a challenge.
All right, we're kind of going to come back down to Bob, and then Daniel, and then Brendan. Bob?
Bob, you look tired. Yeah.
Bob Harkers, Fox Sports. What happened when you got into the back of the lap car, and did it cause any additional damage to your car?
I'm not sure on damage. He gave me the bottom going into one and ran in the middle, which was where the VHT, pretty much the only place the VHT was still a little bit sticky on the track was the middle 1 and 2, middle groove, and everybody was running there. That's really where I wanted to run. I was super, super tight at that point, and he gave me the very bottom. And I went down there and got kind of beside him, and then I just lost the nose. It just took off pushing, and I let off the throttle, and it just shot up the track and barely clipped his left rear. So I hated to do that, obviously. It was definitely not intentional. Just one of those things where the bottom lane on the long runs in 1 and 2 got so slick. Like, you'd just go down there, and you'd make it halfway around the corner, and you'd think you're doing good, and all of a sudden the thing would just take off to the right. So, yeah, that's what happened there. Yeah.
All right.
I don't
Daniel?
understand why you asked me that, though. What's the point? Yeah, I was just curious. Like, that was a big deal in the race or something?
Well, I wasn't sure whether you were just like, lap traffic's got to get out of my way, or...
Oh, I got you. Yeah, no, it was... No, I didn't do it. The two-car did at the end. You tell me that wasn't a little strange. Yeah. Then they did it. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. But no, it was an accident, totally. Yeah. If you look at my data, you'll see I just lifted and was like cranked to the left and went straight. So, yeah.
All right,
Sorry.
next question.
Turning left.
Dale McFadden with NBC Sports. Martin, with this race, Richmond earlier this year, and Martinsville last year, going head to head in Joey Logano, after a trilogy of close finishes like that, just what is your assessment of Joey Logano when it comes to a head to head situation like you've been with him now 3 times?
He's a hard, tough competitor. A guy that's tough to beat. He's always up front. So, I mean, he's a great driver, and him and his team do a great job of being in position to win races. And, those are the kind of guys you like to beat. So, it feels good to win tonight against him.
All right. Microphone right here to Brendan.
Brendan Marks from the Charlotte Observer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach was saying a little bit earlier how there was so much going on in this race that it was almost sort of hard to keep track of. How do you compare this one from the 1 in 16? Can you compare those? I know the race just ended, and is one or the other more gratifying for whatever reason?
I mean, they're both really big wins. I don't really know how to put that one, but definitely way crazier tonight. I mean, excuse me. 16 was just like lights out. It just was like just kind of going through the motions. Everything went perfectly. Everything went exactly the way we needed it to. And that's why we were able to lead so many laps. Tonight was a challenge, to say the least. And I never thought after we hit the fence and had that flat, I never thought that we would have a shot at winning, until probably halfway through the race. And then I was like, "Ooh, we got a chance again." I can't really believe it, but hey, this is cool, And so it's always fun to win races that are like that. I mean, I've never hit the fence and won a race before, so it's cool the first time. I mean, that's like hero stuff. So it was pretty cool to be able to do that. I mean, you watch other guys do it, you're like, how the hell did they do that? The car's destroyed. And so that's pretty cool, I think. And that's why, when I seen the car in victory lane, I was like, dang, man, that thing's it's beat all to hell. So it's pretty cool to be able to win one like that. I've never done that before.
All right. I believe I had a question over here in the affiliate area. Did I have a question? Did you have one?
Chris Murdoch, Race Chaser Media. Martin, you alluded to it earlier, but, what were you feeling throughout the race with the PJ1 compound and, from the start of the race all the way to the end? What were you feeling out there on the track?
Well, it definitely changed a lot. I would say that the track never really gripped up much after it got dark, which I think everybody kind of expected it to. I felt like it didn't. I felt like the PJ1, especially in 3 and 4, NASCAR tests the track and tests the somehow they could think they can figure out how much grip is in what lane and this and that. And they said that 3 and 4 was supposed to have more grip than 1 and 2, and I felt like it was the opposite. I felt like 3 and 4 was slicker than even last weekend, and the PJ1 just seemed like it was almost non-existent. It felt like it was there just a little bit early in the race and then just was gone. But 1 and 2, it kind of stayed, I felt like, a little bit better. So I don't know. It's hard to say. The track never really changed a whole lot, I don't think. But the PJ1 definitely, I felt like, lost some grip. And the bottom of 3 and 4 got to where it was pretty much the best place to run. And 1 and 2 in the PJ1 was definitely the best place to run, especially in the long run. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, a little bit different than everybody expected, I think.
All right, we'll go Jacob and then to Peter. Jacob.
Jacob Zillman, Speed Sport. 2 questions for you, Martin. First, when Cole and Coach were in here earlier, they were talking about, I asked them about the transition from Furniture Row now to the 19 team. How do you feel like the transition has been? Has it been as seamless as you hoped it would be?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been really good. I mean, obviously to be sitting here halfway through the regular season with 3 wins is a big deal. And I feel at home there. I feel like I'm part of the team, and I know the way things work, and I know what they expect of me, and I'm really comfortable, being myself, and just really have been having fun. So it's a lot of work. It's a big challenge to win races at this level, but I've definitely really enjoyed it, and looking forward to hopefully just continuing to do what they brought me there to do.
And in regards to the car, I know you guys were chasing it after you tagged the wall there in the first stage, but it seemed like it really also came to life when the sun went down and the lights came on. Do you feel like the track change from day to night was something that helped you guys, or was that something you could tell?
After we hit the wall, the car changed so drastically that I really don't know how to answer your question. Like, I don't know, I don't really know how it changed, because that actually, just that one lap, changed our car so drastically that it took us, like I said earlier, probably 125 laps, literally. I mean, it was like around lap 75 when we hit the fence, and then it was probably 200 or so into the halfway, through the race before we got it close again. So I really don't know. I think it was just I felt like if we didn't have that flat tire and hit the fence, that it would have been like 2016 again. I mean, it was that good before that happened. So with that said, I would have a better answer for you if we didn't hit the fence. I really don't know how the track changed.
All right, Peter, go ahead.
Peter Schroeder, TSJ Sports. Martin, you earned your 3rd win at the Charlotte Oval tonight, and a few weeks ago you earned your 3rd win at Dover. Do you consider one of them to be your best track?
Oh, that's a good question. I think they've both been good for us over the years, especially the last few, and I consider them 2 of the most challenging and difficult tracks we go to. And so, for those 2 to be, where I've won the most races of my career, that's really cool, because they're tough tracks, and you want to win at the places that are really hard and really difficult. So with that said, I would say that even though this is asphalt and that's concrete and that's a mile and this is a mile and a half, and all the differences, that there is some similarities in the feel of the car and just the roughness of the racetrack and those kind of things that, that maybe that's kind of played into it a little bit.
All right. Noah, did you have a question? Okay, go ahead.
Noah Lewis, TSJ Sports. Martin, we've had this new package for a little while now, and I think we've seen the best of its abilities tonight and in Kansas. Do you have any pros to the package that you like more than last year, or anything that you don't like more than last year?
I don't really get paid to have an opinion. I get paid to win. So it's still difficult in traffic. They drive awful in traffic, I'll be honest, and I don't know how we fix that. It's all about restarts and pit stops. That's really what it is. I mean, once you get out front, you're gone. Luckily for us, our car was fast enough when we got out front tonight, we could hold them off. But, it's really difficult to pass. It's really difficult in traffic. I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, it's really doesn't matter what I think. it matters what the fans think and what NASCAR and what everybody thinks of the show and what they think of the racing. So I'm just glad that we've been able to win with this package because I know we're going to have it for a while and, just try to run with that momentum.
All right, I believe I had one final question over here.
Tom Baker, Race Chaser Online. Want to ask you about the moment of silence that we had during the race, Martin, because I know I've been around the sport for over 30 years, and I don't think I've ever seen or felt anything quite like that at a racetrack. And I'm curious what that was like for you from the driver's point of view. Were you able to sort of detach from the race thoughts long enough to really feel that and experience that? What was that like for you?
I think for us in the car, it was hard to tell really what was going on. I mean, you're so focused. We've been out there for, I don't know, 3 hours or something already. And honestly, for us, it was just time to take a break. And I just kind of closed my eyes for a minute and tried to relax. And I don't really know. It was kind of a break. I don't know that I even thought much about what was going on. It's hard to say. You're so in the zone and thinking about all the stuff in the race and your head's spinning. So it just felt like kind of a red flag type situation to me.
And Martin, one final question. 12 years ago, you won at Dover your first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race with Bass Pro as your sponsor. Tonight, you brought home another victory 12 years later with them. They've been with you much of your career. What does it mean to have that kind of support from Johnny Morris and his team at Bass Pro?
Well, I was definitely happy he was here tonight. He's one of the funnest people ever to be around in general, but when in Victory Lane, it's really special. And it was really cool to get to do the interview on Fox on the race broadcast from Victory Lane and have him with me on my side. And he had a special message for everybody. He's a special guy, and to see his enthusiasm and his love of our country and, telling stories about his dad and being in the military and fighting in the Battle of the Bulge and all those things. I mean, it's just, he's a special guy. And so I'm very fortunate to call him a friend. He's supported my racing career for a long, long time. And honestly, without him, there's no way I'd be sitting here. So very special to have him here this weekend. And I'm glad he came to the race. He kept asking me, we won in the auto owner's car, we won in the Sirius XM car, and he's like, every time you got blue in your car, you win. So he's like, he texted me this week, he's like, how's that blue working out? Because, we had the red, white, and blue paint scheme. So it's just awesome to have his support and his support of his company and all the people that work for Bass Pro and Cabela's, and just, special guy.
All right. Well, congratulations on another win here at Charlotte, and enjoy celebrating this one.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.